Good morning everyone, welcome to Northumberland Zoo. I'm Maxine, the curator, and I'm with Charlotte in the background here. And today we thought we'd do something a little bit different. We're down at our raccoon enclosure, and we're going to be taking you through the normal kind of morning husbandry routine with our raccoons. We've got 8 all together here. So yeah, let's go in and have a little look. Good morning, kids. How's it going? Hi! How's it going?
Come on guys, in you come.
So what is it that you're trying to do then?
So I'm getting rid of these bedrooms just to make it much easier for me to service the paddock. So outside they would have made a little bit of a mess. And they, like I say, they understand that when they come in here and they're well behaved, they get a little bit of a treat. And that makes it much easier for me to clean outside, like I say. Not that we don't work in with them, we do go in with them, but they definitely like to get into all your buckets and make everything a little bit more tricky. And just giving them a couple of dog biscuits just as a reward to tell them they did the right thing by coming in.
So all 8 raccoons are inside now?
Yeah, so we've got 4 on one side and 4 on the other, but I'll do another double check just before I enter the paddock. Right, so I'm just going to be doing a visual check of the enclosure. This is our electric fence. It stops the raccoons climbing up because they're very good climbers. And I'm going to be picking up any feces as I go around, taking out any old food waste, any enrichment that they've had, and just generally checking the enclosure over for any dig holes, anything we need to be aware of. So that's pick up in a minute.
So while Charlotte goes round, I'll take you on a little tour of the raccoon enclosure. Obviously the main feature is this massive oak tree behind me, which is brilliant because the raccoons literally climb right up to the top of the tree, and in the summer months they go up and they harvest and they chew on all the little bits of acorns and things that the tree produces, and they're chewing on all the buds at the moment, so that's a lot of natural enrichment there. They've also got all of these hawthorn trees in the middle as well, which again, once they flower, they go up and they sit in those trees and they eat all the little bits at the end of the hawthorn branches as well, which is really, really nice. They have got some little outdoor little houses that they hang out in, but they don't really tend to spend a lot of time in them. And obviously, one of the favourite things that everyone knows that raccoons like is water. So we've got a little pond for them down the bottom here, which you can't see from the public area, but here it is here. It's quite big. So this varies in depth depending on the time of year, but it's obviously natural. So sometimes we chuck their food in there for them so that they can go for a swim, or they just sit around the edges and they faff about in the mud because that's just what they do. And then if you're ever looking to spot the raccoons in the enclosure, not only are they sometimes up in the oak tree, but they love to sit up in this silver birch tree right on the end here. There's a little V at the top there, which they kind of claim in the summer, so they all take turns claiming that spot. That's the good one. And then sometimes when we can't find the raccoons, there is a lovely little hole at the bottom of this silver birch tree, which I'll show you. There it is there. And believe it or not, you can fit like 6 raccoons in there, and they go right up in there and they go all the way up into here because it's hollow, all the way up to the middle of the tree here. So yeah, many a time we've been duped by the missing raccoon trick. So the 8 raccoons that we've got here, the first one that we got was Bert, and he was born in 2012, so he's the oldest raccoon that we have. He is coming up 9 years old in August, so he's an old boy, and the rest are just kind of ranging in ages from sort of 3 up to 6, 7 years old. A lot of them are ex-pets, so they are quite used to being around people, and we get people travelling from all over the UK to come and meet them because they're just so they're so friendly and so canny. So we do a lot of raccoon encounters. So once we can get the raccoon encounters running again, yeah, I'm sure we're going to be inundated with people wanting to meet them. Obviously, Ralph's gone a bit famous on Cameo as well. So if you wanted a personalised birthday or occasion message done, Ralph can do that for you. So yeah, you have to have a look at got the link on the screen there for Cameo for Ralph the Raccoon. So we'll just have a look and see where Charlotte's up to, and then what we're going to do is we're going to let them out and give them their morning breakfast. Will you let them out while you're in here, or only after you left?
I will probably go out, so I'll spread their food around, I'll put it into different enrichment devices, and then I'll head out and I'll let them all come out and get their food.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do so we don't get overwhelmed by raccoons, and we've got a Cameo request, is we're going to let Ralph the raccoon out now, hopefully, fingers crossed, and we're going to do a quick Cameo video with him, and then we'll have a look at him ourselves and chat about raccoons and see what you guys know about raccoons and if there's anything that you didn't know. Yeah, who doesn't love a trash panda? So let's see who comes out. Hey, Ralph! How you doing? He's like, good boy. He's like, why? Why am I out? What's going on? Hey, buddy. How's it going? He knows the score. So he knows that when he gets separated out, it's time for his time in the limelight, and he gets some treats. Don't you? Hey, buddy. How's it going? How's it going? So the reason why we use Ralph is because he's the most predictable. He's quite soft, he's handleable to a certain degree, and he hand feeds really gently. Some of the other raccoons are a little bit more grabby, which isn't great when you have, say, children or adults who are not used to being around raccoons, so he's a bit more bulletproof, isn't he? Why do you like Ralph?
Yeah, just because of his nature. He's really cheeky but really sweet. Some of them can be a bit full on, but he's got a really nice nature.
Lovely. So we're going to film this Cameo now, and then we'll come back and we'll learn a bit more about Ralph. He's so cute, man.
Hey Ralph, you gonna come back up here, mate?
So before we let the rest of the trash pandas out, we'll just let you guys meet Ralph. And Charlotte's going to tell us a little bit about him, because I think that Ralph might be Charlotte's favourite animal.
So yeah, like Maxine says, Ralph is definitely one of my favourites. He's just got a really lovely nature. He's super greedy as well, so definitely my spirit animal. What I'm giving him now is just some mealworms and some nuts, and also a few seeds as well. He's got a few grapes thrown in there as well. So it's a nice varied diet. They do also get a meat source in the morning, and then they'll get some veg on a night. They're quite fussy, so we do have to cook the veg for them. Here you go. So they've got very strong jaws for breaking open those nuts, which they would also use to break open things like shellfish, and they would find these in rivers. They can use their little paws to get into water, and when their paws go into the water, it increases the sensitivity on their feet, and it makes everything a lot easier for them to find. So you will see a lot of videos of them using their paws in water, and that is because of these little hairs that they have, and because they can then find things on the riverbeds. So they use their paws. They're very dexterous, and they've got quite long nails as well, so they'll dig, they'll find different bugs and things in the undergrowth, and they'll also, like I say, go into rivers and find things. They'll take berries off of trees. They're really good at climbing, so they'll go up into trees and they'll take berries and things. They'll also raid nests and take eggs, and maybe even some chicks if they can. They're very opportunistic feeders. So one really iconic thing about raccoons is this mask across their face. That's how they get their name, Trash Panda. Little bandits, because of this iconic mask. All of our raccoons look slightly different. One of them, for instance, has lines down her mask. That's Edna. So if you're ever here at the zoo, you might be able to pick out Edna from the rest. She's also quite a lot bigger than the others. There are many different variations in size and colour dependent on where they're found. So we've got a little bit of everything. Some of them are a bit smaller, some bigger. Ralph is particularly light, so that's another way of picking him out. He's kind of this yellowy tone. Here's a few more, mate.
So what are these things up here then? What are you doing with these? Is this fire hose?
Yeah. So we've got some enrichment here, some fire hose that we've screwed on. This just makes it a little bit more interactive for feeding. So I'll do things like putting some food just into these, getting the raccoons to come up. They can use those dexterous little paws into these, and it just prolongs the feeding a little bit more. So this is one form of enrichment that we can do with them.
How smart are raccoons?
Raccoons are very intelligent. They're able to work out puzzles, and even for several years after, if they've worked something out, they'll remember exactly how to do it. Easy as pie, which is why it is incredibly difficult out in America to keep them out of dustbins, because they have worked out how to undo the locks and how to get into those bins. So the ones we've got here can even undo jars and undo carabiners that we use to tie things up, undo knots that we use and rope. So yeah, very dexterous and very smart. Okay, cool. So I'm going to be just hiding some more food for the rest of the group. So when they come out, they'll be going around foraging and finding their food for a few minutes. So I'll get to hiding. So if Ralph doesn't get it all.
So yeah, Ralph is definitely a sweetheart, and if you want to meet him, then you'll definitely get to come along and do a raccoon encounter. We're hoping the raccoon experiences will be up and running from June, but we'll just have to see how it goes. So Charlotte's just grabbing the rest of the food, so yeah, let's have a little look and see where she hides it. Yeah, so we'll head out the enclosure now, because if not, I may not get my camera back. They are thieves. They've totally mastered pockets, and some of them really like shiny things. So we'll head out before they get let out. Don't come to me. You gotta go find the food. This is Bert. And this is Misha. Misha's very dark. If you have a look at Misha, she's so much darker. There's Edna, you know, the one with the stripes on the face. So they've all got their own little markings. Now they've realised I don't have any food, they're on a mission. One of them's just realised that Ralph's got loads of food going on and just took off 90 miles an hour. Look at them all, man.
I'm going to give them their chicks now as well, so we'll be
Okay.
able to do a little bit of a name call of everybody. So this is Tommy here. Tommy's got quite a narrow muzzle, so that's one way of telling him apart. This is Edna, as I talked about earlier, with her little stripes down her face. Misha's quite small and she's quite dark. And this is Bert. Here you go, mate. Where is it gone? This is Jake. Jake's got quite a wide mask, and he's quite big as well, so that's one way of telling him he's quite dark too. And then Timmy is missing, and so is Poppy.
Yeah, I feel like they went over there. Awesome.
Hours later. All good?
Yeah, thank you very much. Right,
Fabulous.
well, I think I'm
Beans
gonna...
then.
I'll head off. Well, cheers, Charlotte, for that little walk around the raccoon enclosure. It's really interesting to see what their morning routine is, and obviously the raccoons really enjoy it as well. So hope you learned something about raccoons. If you've got any questions, just pop them in the comments below, and we shall see you next time. Cheers, guys.
Bye.